In this video, we'll attempt to simplify one of the more confusing elements of Oregon's support services system for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. One of the biggest questions we hear is, how do I choose a case management entity? Think of a case management entity as your first stop or foundation that's going to support you with getting connected to the services that you or your loved one wants and needs to build a full life. The decision about where you get your case management services from is a really important one. Because our state has such a rich history as a national leader in developing progressive services for people with disabilities, Oregonians have many more case management options than people living in other states. So, what are your options? If you're 18 or older and have an intellectual or developmental disability, you can choose from two types of case management entity, a CDDP or a brokerage. A CDDP is a Community Developmental Disabilities Program. In the Portland metro area, CDDPs are actually run by county government. CDDPs are responsible for protective service investigations and eligibility, as well as case management for both children and adults with disabilities. Brokerages have a more specialized focus as a case management entity. We solely provide case management and resource connections to people 18 and older who live in their own or family home. We are community-led, primarily nonprofit organizations who act as systems navigators, advocates, and connectors. Depending on where you live, you may have multiple brokerages to choose from. Brokerages came into existence as the result of grassroots advocacy by self-advocates, families, and community members driven to create essential services with a person-centered approach. So, why are there so many options? Well, there's a bit of history there. The short of it is this. From 2001 until 2013, when you turned 18 years of age, and if you had a developmental disability and you lived at home, your sole option was to receive services from a brokerage. In 2013, Oregon's funding changed, moving under the Affordable Care Act. That's where the K plan comes in. At that time, a decision was made at the state level to allow CDDPs to provide case management to the same population that brokerages have been serving for the past 13 years. Okay, so should I choose a CDDP or a brokerage? The short answer is it really does depend on what you're looking for. Both CDDPs and brokerages contract with the State of Oregon Department of Human Services to provide the same service. In theory, services should be identical. However, each organization is a bit different. We all have different cultures, sizes, locations, and even approaches. We recommend calling the CDDP program manager or brokerage director or directors of the case management entities that you're interested in. Explain your unique situation and share what your wants and support needs are. Ask them, in the first 6 months, what would you offer me and or my family? What kinds of services can we expect? What kinds of resources will you link us to? Because each person's situation is so different, this is a great way to find out the right fit for you. And we recognize making multiple calls when life is already busy can seem like a big ask, but we promise it's worth it. In 5 years of discussions with families since the K plan change, every person we've spoken to who has taken the time to make the calls has said that it was worth it. That time spent up front can really mean a lot. If you'd like to see what's available in your area, check out our website, mybrokerage.mychoice.org. There you'll find links to websites for every CDDP and brokerage in the state. Once you've chosen your case management entity, just call the local CDDP where you received your eligibility. If you're choosing the local CDDP, they'll assign you a case manager known as a services coordinator. If you're choosing a brokerage, the CDDP will contact the brokerage and then start the transfer process. Once the brokerage receives your file and contact information, expect to hear from a brokerage personal agent who will visit with you in your home or setting of your choice to go over entry paperwork and get services started. Please keep in mind that your choice of case management entity is not a permanent thing. You can always switch to another brokerage or CDDP in your area if you'd like services elsewhere. And if you move anywhere in the state of Oregon, there's at least one, if not more, brokerages and CDDP in every one of Oregon's 36 counties.